Hello, hello. I hope everybody's doing great. I finally, Zoom was not working, so I'm using ecamm, which is a Mac app, and I need to turn my light on brighter. It's a little dark in here. That's better. Hope you can see me. Let's see if anybody is here yet. Oh, we've got somebody. You can leave a comment and let me know that you're here. Be great. Good evening. Let's see, who is that? And there's somebody else. Yay! So tonight, it's Norma. Yay! So good to see you, Norma. And if you, whoever else is here, please say hello. And if you watch the replay, please say hello there too. And gotta get everything straightened out here. Okay. Oh well, we didn't get fixed up, obviously. Having issues. But tonight I'm excited to talk to you about going pro with your writing. And I know, I just had a conversation with somebody in Facebook Messenger about this very thing. And it's something that sometimes it's hard for us to wrap our minds around. And it took me a while too. It took me 4 years to write my first book. And then once I did, I was still kind of dabbling at the writing business, even though I wanted to be serious about it. Hey, Sherilyn. But I didn't really take it seriously. And so I'm trying to find the comments here. Hopefully they will show up on my iPad. Well, let's see if I can. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find comments here and I can't. There we go. Hey, Colleen and Norma and Sherilyn. So glad you're here. But when you take this seriously and you really think of it as a business, that's one of the first things you can do to becoming a pro writer. And I want you to think about this. Pro athletes, they have coaches and they have trainers. Business executives hire coaches to help them to be better at their jobs. There isn't an industry that I can think of that there isn't some way you can train to always be better, because things change too. Think about technology. It changes rapidly. And if you don't keep up with it, you're going to be in the dust pretty quick. Think of those who are still using their iPhone 6S's. They're great phones. They still work, but they're 4 generations behind the most current model, or 5. So it's one of those things with your business. You want to keep up with what's current and what's going on. What are the trends, or how can I be better? It's not always about trends as much as how can I be better. Because people have, the way we consume information has changed, and you want to keep up with that. So if anybody has any questions while I'm doing this, just let me know. But another way, and if you've got any comments on ways that you think would work, then I want you to share that too. But another way to go pro, shall we say, is learn from books, courses, and conferences. Those are the things that I am constantly going to learn more. I go to, there's one conference in North Carolina I go to every year, and I've been to other conferences throughout the years. I've been to speaking conferences. I've been to writing conferences in Atlanta and just all over the place. I've been constantly learning. I read all the time, through articles and books about writing. I'm always honing my skills. And any person that's seeking excellence in their industry, you're going to want to hone your skills. Always be constantly learning. Yes, Sherilyn says keep learning. You definitely want to do that. And you want to, the next thing that you're going to do to go pro is to write. And you're thinking, oh, duh. But how many of you writers don't write hardly at all? You might be sporadic. be consistent and have a project that you're looking forward to. If you're done with your book, and then be thinking about the next book. And sometimes some of you are, really good about that. You have like 3 or 4 books that you want to do at a time, and you got to rein back and like, okay, let's focus on this one, get it done, and then we'll move to the next one. And that's important that you stay focused. And I really highly suggest don't ever focus on 2 big projects like that at a time. Focus on one and get done. You're going to have a much better book than if you're trying to dilute your focus. And that's hard for me to do because like I have a novel I want to work on, but I'm ghostwriting a book right now, and I just can't do both. There is too different and too much. I mean, if that was all I was doing, maybe. But because I'm a coach and an editor and podcasts and Facebook Lives and all this other stuff, there isn't time to do all of it and do it well. And that's the thing. Do you want to write well and excellent? Or do you just want to write an okay book and get it out there? I hope you want to write it well, because that's the key. A professional book is important, and you really want to write it well. And the best way to do that is learn the craft of writing. And somebody said I tend to be specific, and I can't see who that is on here. Let's see. Norma. Okay. Oh, sporadic. I can read. Oh, wow. Yes, Norma, and that's it. When you think of your writing as a business, then it's that big rock theory. When you plan your week out, you need to plan out, okay, these are the days that I'm going to work on my writing. It may not be every day, but at least, 3 to 5 times a week, you really need to be writing and working on that project to make progress on it. More if you can, like 6 days a week, if that works for your schedule, or if you work on days that are, like if you a couple days that you work 3 or 4 hours a day. Not everybody's a Jerry Jenkins who's prolific, but I think, and Sherilyn, you may know this because I'm trying to remember how many hours a day he says he writes. It's like 5 or 6 hours a day. I think he writes. It may be somewhere around there. He writes a lot, and he is a prolific writer. No, I'm not asking you to be Jerry Jenkins, but you need to exercise that writing muscle and work your way up. And, it depends on how fast you want to get a book out and your schedule. Are you working full time, and do you have kids? All of that is just figure out times where you can be consistent and be intentional. Those are huge, being consistent and intentional with your writing time. And then the other thing is writing 6, you think, hey, Josie, 6 hours a day, that's a lot of writing. But the man has written close to 200 books in 30-something years, I think. So, he does a lot of writing, and he gets paid well to do it. And that's the thing. If that's your goal, then you need to work on that and act like it. That's what you want to do. But if writing 6 hours a day, you can't handle it or you don't have time for it, do what you can. Schedule an hour, 2 hours a day if you can. If you can only do 15 minutes a day, that works too. But being intentional about your time, and then the more you do it, the more you exercise that, the more you will look forward to writing too. Also, write blogs and articles. I started off blogging, and my blog never went viral or crazy, but it was more of an exercise for me too, because I knew eyeballs were going to be looking at it. When you write and someone else is going to be looking at it, or you're writing for a magazine or some kind of publication, whether it be online or offline, it's different. You treat it differently. You treat it professionally. And you definitely want to make sure that, you've written it well, that you don't have any mistakes, that you've got your point across. And it teaches you that. That's what I learned from blogging, is how to be concise with my points. Because I used to be one of these that I could ramble, and I still can, ramble for hours about something, writing, but not totally making my point, or not making it well. And learning to be concise and being proficient and efficient in your writing really helps, because you're exercising that writing muscle. And the more you exercise it, the easier it is when you go to write the next time. Because, especially like if you're working on the same project, if you have that same project going on, say with a book, and when you end one day, think about, where do you want to start the next day? Do you want to, I want to talk about this point next. I haven't written about this. And I may need to find a story to go with that. And if you have that in your mind when you're ready to write the next day, it's easier to sit down and write, because you're not going, oh God, I gotta write. And it's not this big thing. It's just this, okay, this is what I'm going to work on today. And that's something I suggest you do at the beginning of the week, is plan out, okay, I'm going to work on chapter 1 and I'm going to start chapter 2, and I need to find some stories to go with chapter 2, or illustrations or verses or quotes or whatever, or I may need to do research. Whatever it is, when you plan out that time, it works better. So writing articles, writing blogs, all of that helps with writing exercise. And if you're writing a nonfiction book, write blogs about what you're writing about. Don't put your chapter on your blog, but say you have a chapter on eating healthy. I'm just throwing something out there. And you have 3 tips that help people eat healthy. And you can talk about those 3 tips. It could be 500 words. It could be 300 words. Just a nugget of information that's about your book. So then by the time your book comes out, people will want to know about it, because you've been sharing that information. So that's what's huge with that. Let's see. Somebody said something else here. It's very hard to pull up comments on my iPad for some reason. I don't know why. Hey, Chris is here. Norma, planned office hour 3 to 4 times a week for 3 hours, but life seems to get in the way, just like last week. Well, Norma, you had a big situation happen last week. She's got a husband with some serious health issues. So, yes, life. And that's going to happen. I mean, you're just going to have to roll with the flow. And then when things calm down, get back and, do what you can do. People with young kids and with jobs and spouses that have things going on, there's always going to be something going on. But do the best you can, and being as intentional as you can is the key. The next thing is, and I think I've mentioned this, is seeking excellence in your topic and how you can help others. So, what I do is, I'm a writing coach and I'm an editor, and I started off writing spiritual books. And if you say, which is devotionals, if you want to write something like that, or if you want to write about if your topic's health or productivity, whatever your topic is, read what other people are writing about it, whether it's articles or books. And you don't have to read the whole book. You can read part of the book, get enough of it, and get a feel for what they're talking about, and make sure that yours is different in some way. How can you be different? How can you be better? Or maybe you don't agree with them, and that's okay if you don't agree with them. Then that's going to make you stand out too. If everybody writes the same thing about productivity, then that's going to be boring, right? But if you have a different take on it, and some different things that have worked for you, just like I do with writing, I've got different things than what other people do, and what's worked for me, and it's working for my clients, and it's working for people who took the course, then that it's helpful, that you're going to make a difference. So I'm glad that has helped you, and it can make a difference, that you are able to sit there and really think about how you can be different, how you can help others. When you think about your writing and you keep the reader in mind, that is huge. The next thing is, just like we said with the pro athletes and the business executives, is hire a coach. Doesn't necessarily have to be me. Of course, I would like it, but I only have so much time in the day, so I can't help everyone. But there is a way that I can help more people. And one of those ways is through Write My Book Bootcamp. Now, on Tuesday night, we did a webinar, and let's talk about being an industry leader of writing a book. And I taught some tips in there about writing and how a book is more than a book and you can create a business model out of it. And if you still want to see that replay, if you weren't on the list and got the link, you can still see that. And that link I put in this broadcast here in the Facebook Live post, the link, it's TheWriteCoach.biz /FreeWritingTraining. You can still sign up for it. It says it's expired, but you can still sign up for it. And when you get the email with the link to the webinar, it gives you the link to the replay. So it'll redirect you to the replay. So go and watch that, and you can learn more about how I help people in the course. But what is so great about that course is you get one-on-one help in a group setting. I said, well, I guess it's not exactly one-on-one help, but it's going to be a small group. So you get personalized help. Let's put it that way. I will not be editing your work, but I show you how the whole writing process, from creating your idea to using the Write Plan, and I talk about the Write Plan in the webinar and what that entails and how it helps you. And then we're going to have a group coaching call once a week, as well as the first 10 people who sign up get a one-on-one coaching session with Sherilyn or me. And we still have a few of those spots left, so you definitely want to check it out. And the replay is only going to be available till tomorrow night. And there's some bonuses that if you sign up before tomorrow night that you can get. But what the Write My Book Bootcamp has done for our clients that took it back in the fall, it's helped them finish their book. And if you can see the videos that I've posted here in the group, excuse my little doggy, she's having issues. But if the post, Veronica and Adrian have shared in the group how the Write My Book Bootcamp helped them. And you'll see some more testimonials on the page if you go to the sign up page for Write My Book Bootcamp, and you can learn more about it there as well. But I love helping writers. Been doing it for 4 years, and Sherilyn has joined me. She couldn't join me tonight for the Facebook Live. She is still recovering from pneumonia. She has a very bad case of pneumonia. She's finally feeling a little better. She's been sick for about 3 weeks, isn't it? Sherilyn are close to it. And so she couldn't make it for the Facebook Live with me tonight. But she and I are working together, and we are excited to help people. We love coaching people. And so if there's anything that we can do to help you, and if you want to know more about Write My Book Camp, please feel free to message us. We will be happy to answer any questions. Watch the replay. If you signed up, you got a link the next day for the replay, and I sent out an email today as well, and it has the very first line is a link to the replay. So there's some other content that I share there, but I definitely want to help people, and I would love to help you and make you a pro at writing. So I'm excited for the people who have already joined. That's exciting. And Russell is in this group. He's one of the people that have joined, and we've got some others who have joined us too. And so I want to help you become the best writer you can be. And that's what we help you through this course. Not only that, you learn how to create a business model out of it. Adrian talks about how, what we taught him in the course actually helped him to find endorsers for his book, and it's helped him to figure out how to create a business model from his book. So he's taken this concept that we've talked about, and he's working it. He's doing it. He's implementing it. So I am so thankful everybody hung around for tonight, and if you have any questions, please feel free to message us, and we would love to help you join the Write My Book Bootcamp. And thank you, and I can't wait to see you go pro.